Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome this evening to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Tonight, All Pro Racing Broadcasting brings to you the NASCAR iRacing Winter Series, the Fixed Series. Tonight in the booth, JP3, James Peterson, along with Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell, how are you tonight?
Oh, we're doing great. James is going to come here and see if we can watch a great race here at Las Vegas in the NASCAR iRacing Winter Fixed Series.
I'm telling you, a perfect late afternoon into an early evening. The temps are 68 degrees here in Vegas. Track seems like it's cool at about 73 degrees. We've been watching, you and I have been watching some of this practice right now. These guys are making some awful good times, Mitch. I think we're in for some exciting racing tonight.
Oh yeah, it's going to be really interesting what these guys have. They're coming off Daytona last week. Guys are really ready to get this season really going after the shootout there at Daytona. We're going to see who really prevails here in this series and maybe be a front runner for the championship moving forward.
Absolutely, and they are just starting qualifying right now, and so we've got a 10-minute qualifier tonight, and I think what we may do, Mitchell, while we have a minute here, is bring down Alan Pajari. He is the league administrator for the NASCAR iRacing Winter Series, and let's see if we can bring him down to get a couple words here, maybe before he even goes out and hits his qualifying laps. He said he'd give us a few minutes.
Mitchell Reeves up in the booth for Alan Pajari. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Mitch.
Well, and we know you're the runner of this series. Tell us a little bit about it, and how did it get started, and just kind of give us a background about it.
Well, I was thinking probably about 6 weeks before the regular iRacing, NASCAR iRacing Fixed Series ended, that I kind of wanted to continue running that series. And so I asked a few guys if they want to put up a series together to run the fixed races in the Cup car over the winter. And I had a great response, and so that's what we kind of started. So it's an invite-only league. All these people were invited. And they're known for being good, clean racers, and that's what we wanted to do.
Well, that's great to hear, and I think you're going to be racing in this race tonight. Can you tell us about how your car's been this week and how you expect to do this race?
Well, I'm kind of a mid-pack racer myself. I'm actually not qualifying this race. I'm just going to ride around the back and see what happens, see what kind of shakes out, and maybe hope for some attrition. But otherwise, yeah, I'm probably just about mid-pack myself, but there's some real fast guys in this league, so with good experience, so I don't expect to finish as high as those guys.
Well, JP, you got anything to ask?
Hey, Alan, JP3 up here with you in the box. The beauty, as I was reading through your league information today and getting up to speed on it, the beauty of what you guys are doing here with the NASCAR iRacing Winter Series, the Fixed Series. I tell you, I don't think you could have put together a 36-week series any better, with all tracks being a fixed setup. And tell me your thought behind that, and with all these great racers, what you were thinking about that and how you think it's really going to create just some really good value for the league.
Well, actually, we're doing 10 races, and that's over the winter time up until the iRacing puts on their Daytona 500. We just invited probably about 80 guys altogether, and 60 of them were all in. And some of them are there. Most of these guys I've raced with or have seen race in the regular NASCAR iRacing series, so I knew how they were. I knew that they were good, clean, safe drivers that can really get around. And so I think I'm really happy about how this is going so far.
Yeah, super. We really appreciate you letting us do the broadcast tonight. We're looking forward, Mitch and I, to calling it once you get out there and get a couple laps in, just for the heck of it, to at least get yourself on the grid. But Alan, thanks for having us. We're looking forward to calling it for you tonight.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alan.
Bye-bye.
Well, Mitchell, there you have it. I tell you what, I just listening to him, I think they've designed a league here that's going to have some side-by-side, door-to-door racing, some clean racing. Nobody's going to be running away with this thing, and I think for you and I, it's going to be a beauty, and for our viewers tonight, it's going to be a fun one to watch and a fun one for us to call.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, the what's really showing too is from all that and the side-by-side and door-to-door racing like you're talking about, we're looking at the qualifying here. Really some close lap times, and it's really, proving that we're going to have some great racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, copy that. And I know this, I believe, is the second of 10. I misspoke earlier, but the second of 10 races. And I think, in the standings right now, after just one race, you've got Adam Benefile. He's sitting up top with that first win in 43 points. And look who number 2 is. Mike Ellis, All-Pro Racing's own Mike Ellis. And he's letting us take over his duties tonight, Mitch, in the broadcast booth, because Mike is obviously our lead broadcaster. Mike's in second place, and Jonathan is sitting right there in third place at 41 points, and Mike Barker is right behind in fourth place. So, I mean, after one race, the standings are out, and they've got 9 more races to go. So after tonight, some guys could move up, some guys could move down. It's going to be interesting to see.
Oh yeah, James, and like you said, right now, this early in the season, really it's anybody's championship still. It only takes one mistake in this series to possibly, further up your opponents and get them closer to you. If Adam goes out there and wrecks, it's a whole new ball game. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, copy that, and that's the beauty of this. I love the point system they have too, the 43, 42, 41. I do believe in looking at what the Winter Series Fixed is doing here. They're throwing in a clean race situation as well, and then I think also laps led. So there are some added points that you can get here. So, not just always winning the race or finishing in that top 3, 4, or 5, but you run a clean race, you lead a few laps, you're going to get some bonus add-in points there too. So excellent structure the way they've got this set up.
Oh yeah, this race is going to be good. I'm looking ahead to see who's going to be the winner of it. I mean, it can be anybody. You never know.
Yeah, copy that. Just want to send out some special thanks tonight for helping us support this broadcast tonight. Some of the All-Pro Racing sponsors that help us do this type of communication. Skiers Marine. Mitchell, you're well familiar with Skiers Marine.
Oh yes, that is actually the where I'm located at. That is my job. We are Skiers Marine. We sell any type of ski boats you want. We ship them anywhere in the country. We've even gone from Australia to Alaska. They are all around. We're all 3 or 2 stores as of right now are located in Alabama. If you if you're interested in getting a ski boat coming up for the next spring and summer months, the number to call is 205-678-9099, or you can come visit us at skiersmarine.com.
Appreciate that. And Michael D'Angelo's Painting, obviously a huge supporter for us, and they've helped contribute dollars to our broadcasting efforts. So kudos to Michael D'Angelo's Painting and All Pro Broadcasting and All Pro Racing. They're making this whole broadcast for us tonight possible. So for those of you who are maybe even looking for a broadcast team out there in Twitch land or YouTube land, allproracing.com. That's all-pro-racing.com. And got a great group of broadcasters, about 7 guys that do the mics and the races, and probably the best guy in the business, Michael D'Amico behind the cameras. And if you watch the race tonight, you're going to see some fabulous camera work, and kudos off to Michael D'Amico handling the cameras tonight. Yeah,
he's definitely one of the best in the business, and he's also a great league promoter too. He's done a lot of good stuff at All Pro, and anybody that's interested in All Pro, there's a lot of great stuff happening right now, and you should definitely come join us there. We're having a lot of fun.
Well, we're just about a minute and a half from gridding up here, and let's take a quick look at the top 5, 6, 7 here, Mitch. What are you seeing there?
Well, it's looking like the top 4 or 5 are they're all about 500s off of each other, but they're really, really fast. A lot of names that to look for. Definitely, I was watching Dylan Fitzpatrick in practice, he looked very, very consistent. I think going through the race, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Strategy might also play a big key in this as well. With 138 laps, the strategy can really go any way.
Yeah, copy that. Well, Alan's going over kind of just the pre-race, in-race rules right now, and so we'll let him do those duties. But we're just about ready to grid up here. And one thing we do here at All Pro is you get a chance to look at those first 10 cars on the grid and get a good look at their paint skin, who they're representing, who they're driving for, and Michael will get a picture of each of those cars as we grid up here in just about 30 seconds.
Pole sitter is going to be the number 80 of Jacob Harberts with a 28.84. Heck of a lap there. We'll see if he can hold it off going there in turn 1 and see what happens for him. Good race, or good lap there, Jacob.
Jacob Harberts, Harbets, in the car 80, and Dylan Fitzpatrick's going to be right next to him. And look at those 2 times, Mitch. 13 one-thousandths of a second difference. So that's pretty close for a 1-2 front row.
Oh yeah, that's about as close as you can get when it comes to it right there. All right, now guys, we're just waiting up for everybody to grid up, and we're going to go through the field as we come for the opening pace lap to this 130 lap race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, looking on the outside of row 1 is Dylan Fitzpatrick. Looks like he's sporting that Adidas car. And inside row number 2, Larry Pitts in the 63 car.
Starting there in the 5th position is the number 97 of Dan Murray in the DeWalt Toyota. Sorry, that was actually on the outside there. On the inside is Nicholas Ward in the number 97 DeWalt Toyota.
And inside of 4, Carlos Fonseca, and very sporty paint job there with the St. Jude's Children's Hospital Research. It's always good, Mitch, to see people supporting charitable organizations and putting the word out in the racing community.
Most definitely. The outside there, number 83, Adam Benefile, looks like he is sporting a very beautiful Ford Fusion. I think that is RVL Royal Speed. That is a great looking car.
Yep, and inside row 6 we have Michael Taylor, and he's in the Boss Twitch Stanley Tools, car number 70.
On the outside is Colton Landis in the number 49 NRA Trading Paint Chevrolet.
Inside row 6, we got Jay Heisman, and he's in that Heineken green machine.
On the outside in row 6, starting in the 12th position, is the number 29 of Samuel Harris in the Black Adder Chevrolet.
And that'll round out about our top 11 and 12, and we're rolling. We're underway for pace.
As we come to green here, James, do you think they're going to go single file, or do you think they'll stay side by side going into turn 1 and out of 2?
Well, I tell you, Mitch, I got a feeling with many of these races these guys have run together, and in the fixed setup, I got a feeling we're going to see side by side 2 wide into 1. I think these guys are savvy enough that we're not going to see anybody trying to shoot up the middle. And let the race just kind of get settled a little bit. These guys will settle in, and probably in in 4 or 5 laps, we're going to kind of see how it's going to shake out, at least for this first, until we go to that first pit stop.
Well, as they come out of turn 4 here, I think the pace car is about to head off. We're going to start this 138 laps here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Mitch, I'm going to also keep my eyes kind of on that back of the pack. You want to kind of keep up on the front, and we'll just kind of see how these first few laps shake out here.
Pace car's off as we head to green here. Green flag in the air. Looks like the 80 got a heck of a jump there, but it looks like the 15 of Dylan Fitzpatrick's going to stick with him going into turn 1. JP, looks like there's a lot of check up there in the back.
Yeah, there sure was. And the 17, Michael Whitaker, made a very nice 3-wide move, and he's keeping a very smooth line in the back, and he's working his way up right now. The number 17, Michael Whitaker, the second. He has moved up about 6 spots already.
Well, as the leaders go by the finish line, Jacob Havertz is going to get the first lap, but Dylan Fitzpatrick is right on his bumper. Both of them pulled away about a second already. Really early in the race, it's looking like they're going to be the two dominant ones early here. Already coming up on lap traffic.
Yeah, as you're watching these guys come into one and come into three, everybody's, hitting their lifting point almost at the exact same time, Mitch, and you really got to appreciate that. There's a good group of racers right here, just watching out for each other, not getting too aggressive.
Oh, you got that right, Mike. It's a common courtesy, but back here, Nicholas Ward's 3 wide going into turn 3. A lot of good racing here early. Man, they're still 3 wide with Lance Nascar and Michael Dool on the inside, back to 2x2 as they go down into turn 1. Looks like the 17 might have gotten a piece of the wall there and coming out of turn 2. Let's see if he can recover back and get back in line there.
Well, you've got about 4 laps now. I think the tires are warming up. The guys are getting settled in. We're going to get some traction here. And field's starting to even out a little bit.
Well,
it's some very good racing.
Oh, yes. That is a definite. And as we look back over at the front, it looks like the 80 of Jacob Harberts is still in the lead with Dylan Fitzpatrick behind. JP, the question is anyone else going to have anything for him this early in the race? They're already showing their dominance.
Yeah, they put about almost 2 seconds on the third place car there, Adam Benefeld, and they're really not pushing real hard. I think maybe they've just spent some extra time here practicing, and they know where their lifting points are. But now Adam is kind of bringing it up just a little bit. He's narrowed the gap by about 0.2 of a second. So.
Yeah, and you got a point there, James. He might just be staying behind him, and seeing what he might have to do at the end of this race to beat him. He's right on his bumper as we go through the finish line here, going into turn 1 and see if he's going to make a move or stay right behind him. Fitzpatrick's going to try to look low, but I don't think he's going to have anything for him. Looks like the 80's still going to prevail coming out of turn 2 as we go down the backstretch.
Mitchell, what's really impressive to me is you have 43 cars in this race, and 42 of them are on the lead lap after 7 laps going into lap 8. That is some very, very good driving.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of talent in this league, and I'm telling you what, there's a lot of potential for something really great to be happening here, even in just 10 races. It's going to be very interesting to see.
For our watchers out there, as you're looking at this and you're going, boy, how can they do this? How can they keep 180, 190 mile an hour speeds, come into a corner and drop it to about 175 and not hit each other? And this is tremendous throttle control, tremendous situational awareness. These guys have done this before. Very savvy racing. This is, I'm telling you what, Mitch, for 43 cars on this track, this is some of the best racing I have seen in a long, long time.
Oh yes, and especially in the Gen 6 at Las Vegas. And I'm going to tell you what, iRacing has really stepped up their game lately and really gotten it together. And they're making this as real as possible. And the hats is off to iRacing. If it wasn't for them, none of this would have even been possible. Oh, and we have our first caution.
Yep,
looks like, James. Big wreck on the front stretch is what I'm hearing from the drivers. Looks like Marcus Lambert got the worst part of that. I'm going to get a replay and see if we can maybe find out what happened to him. Well, James, it looks like the 5 and the 49 in front of them was actually the people that got that started.
Yeah, just a bit.
And they got it saved, and it was all good and dandy until then. And then it looks like the 96 just got loose out of turn 4 and hit the outside wall, and that was it. But man, James, with him sitting in the middle of the track like that, it's amazing that no one else got caught up in that, and everybody was able to check up and miss him there.
Yep, and Nicholas Ward, number 97, has definitely come in for a pit. He's going to probably get his repair. We'll see what he's doing here. 97, Nicholas Ward.
Looks like Michael Taylor in the number 70 car. Looks like he got a little bit of damaged smoker going into the pit road. He is about to turn his pit stall, but he is got a little bit of damage there. See if he can fight back into the race and get back in this. Well, James, we've been through 11 laps here. Do you think they're going to pit?
Well, I'm thinking right now, 11 laps into it, our first caution, I've got to think that some of these guys are going to come down. They're probably going to top it off, maybe take some outside tires, and here comes a string of them right now. Here they come.
Oh, it's the whole field, it looks like, Mike. We're going to see if there's any strategy played. Looks like everybody's got the same motto here. The MO is going to be 4 tires, except for the number 81. He's going to take 2 tires and be the first one out.
Yep. Yeah, and Dylan took 4 tires. Jacob Harbitz took 4 tires. So, yeah, I think you're right. We had a couple guys take 2 tires and took advantage of it. So let's see what happens in 10 to 12 laps with those guys who only took the 2 tires versus all 4 tires.
Oh yeah, James, and this is going to give a lot of people a big perspective going later on into the race to see if that's going to be the move that might win this race. But it also could come in backfire on them. They could get swallowed up by Dylan and Havertz. I mean, both of them have just been on kill. It's going to be interesting to see with them starting the second row if it's going to be the same thing or we're going to have a different leader and a different dominator this race.
Yeah, it's a really good point there. See when they come across the line here how everybody's shaked out. But yeah, we definitely have a lead change, and we've got about 6 or 8 racers that have moved up a number of positions. So,
and speaking of number of positions gained, our very own Mike Ellis started 31st. He's already up to the 23rd spot. Let's see if we can get a interview with him here and see if we can get maybe find out how his race has been going. What's his strategy? Mitchell Reeves up in the booth for Mike Ellis.
Hey, what's up?
Well, Mike, you started 31st and you're already up to 23rd. How's the car and how's your race going so far?
Well, 15th after stops. Wow, it's so far so good. I was just telling Alan, I'm glad that I got, I missed that first caution. I wasn't involved. There were a lot of trucks involved, and somehow I weaved through that.
Well, Mike, you're already up to 15th. You've made a lot of good gains here. Are you just going to stay on the same strategy, or do you have something else? Are you going to change your strategy and maybe go for it with 2 tires or something like that later on in this race?
Oh, it's early. Just riding. I'm going to probably take 4 every time there's a caution, and at least till halfway, and then I'll reconsider. But yeah, just trying to get in easy and get back on that throttle as quick as possible.
10-4. Well, James, you got anything to ask?
Hey, Mike, it's been fun watching you just making a nice, gentle move up the pack, and you did real good there on that pit stop, and I think you moved up 8 spots coming out of that pit stop. So kudos to you. Good luck in the race. Keep focused, and we'll probably maybe catch up with you a little bit later, sir.
I'll tell you what, it's pretty cool out here with 43 cars. We actually have 43 on track, I believe, and these guys are racing very serious. This is just like an official race, and everyone's running for points, and you can tell it's been pretty clean.
Oh yeah,
good.
There's been a lot of talent out there, and hopefully you can prevail and win this race and bring it back to All Pro.
We'll see.
All right, we'll see you later.
We're gridding up, going 2 by 2. Mitchell, we're ready to go green.
Oh yeah, we're gonna come back to green and get back to this great racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Well, there you have it, though, when talking to Mike, and I got a feeling a lot of these guys are thinking the same thing. They're just going to kind of ride it. They can advance a few positions. Mitchell in these early laps, fantastic, but there's nothing to say that Alan Rowell, last guy on the lead lap, couldn't end up being right up there at the front at the end. So a lot of good racing.
Yep, as we exit turn 4, Fonseca's going to bring him down here as the pace car is turning off here, or about to, as it turns off now. We're going to come to the green flag here. Green flag, back in the air. Great jump for Carlos. Already getting about a car or two on Dylan. Let's see if they can stick with them, or is he going to pull away? Man, James, look at the run that Fitzpatrick gets on the inside of 81. See if he can get him into going into turn 3.
Boy, did he ever. Just in a smooth move. And I'm kind of looking at some things again back here in the back. Also, Mitchell, number 10, Lance Nasir. He's making a run again in that GoDaddy car. Car number 10, Lance. He's moved up about 6 positions coming out of this caution.
Oh, yeah, that was a heck of a restart. As we're side by side, Aberts, our leader earlier, is going for second place. He's by Fitzpatrick going to turn 3. A lot of great racing here early. One thing I'm starting to watch here, it looks like Carlos is actually being able to hold off Jacob Aberts. But Jacob Aberts is now making the inside move. Looks like he's going to clear him into turn 1. I think the 81 might have gotten the wall there, James.
Just a tad. I think he did brush the wall, Mitch, up on that high side there. And making a duck to the inside.
Oh, yeah, he's doing the old switcheroo. We're going to turn 3, coming out of turn 4. See if we have anything coming back to the line here. Man, what a great race. We're still side by side for the lead. Carlos is on 2 tires, but he's still not giving up. That's showing a lot in his car early in this race. But it looks like Jacob might get him here as he clears by a car or 2 going back into turn 1. Well, James, it looks like we've kind of settled down here. It looks like we're single file, at least in the front. How's the back?
Yeah, I'm looking right now at Michael Whitaker in the car 17. He's got 3 guys ahead of him that are kind of going 3 wide occasionally, but Michael's just throttling it. He's not in any hurry to move up to him. And again, I think it's just smart racing. These guys are just playing the waiting game.
And it's sad because you don't see a lot, and it just really it just shows how much talent is in this league, and it's very, as a spectator and a fan of racing, it's some of the best sim racing I've seen. And we're only 19 laps in, James. We get to see this great race for another 100 and some odd laps, 120 laps.
Yeah, copy that. It's been a super fun one to call so far, Mitch. And again, for those out there watching in Twitch or YouTube land, if you got a youngster watching, and you're thinking, wow, how do these guys do this? It's never too late or never too young to join iRacing. We have kids, young adults, 12, 13, 14 years old running with guys like this. iRacing, Tony Garner and his team have put together the single most amazing racing simulation program on the planet.
Oh yes, and I completely agree with you. iRacing is something that I feel like any racing fan should be involved in. But as we get back to the action here, it looks like Carlos Fonseca is going to try to go to the inside on the 80 of Jacob Havertz, but it's not going to pull it off. I think the 4 tires are going to prevail right now.
You know, Mitch, when you see a move like that and he knows that it's just not going to be clear for him, is it a little gaming? He's thinking, what does my car have right now? Can I pull that same move later? I mean, what's going through some of these guys' minds? They're probably playing little games with each other, actually.
Oh yeah, it's called testing the waters. You want to see what your car has at the end, and it's for the half mile, it's for the short tracks, super speedways. You always put your car in a position like it's the last lap to see what you really have, and I think that's what Carlos is doing, and it costed him there. He's back to 4th place. But he's on 2 tires. He's made a lot of ground, and he's maintaining it with 2 tires, and that's something that I think he's going to use in his strategy at the end of this race.
Yeah, copy that. That's excellent thinking there. You know, with the track temperatures here at only 73 degrees, the sun's not out. It's partly cloudy. you know, this track temperature usually can get up to 120, 125 degrees. And, you know, they had the NHRA. Whoops, I think we just got someone into the wall. Lance, he's here maybe. No caution.
Yeah, I think he straightened it out. I think he tapped oil just a little bit, but I think Iracing's going to keep this great green flag racing out, and we're going to keep going with it.
Yeah, but back to the point about the cooler track temperature. You know, usually this track here is going to be in that 120, 125 degree range, and those tires will heat up, and they will not perform like they are on a little bit cooler. The tires heat up, the track almost becomes even maybe a little bit more stickier in this cooler weather, and these guys are holding fabulous lines. I'm not seeing a whole lot of sliding. We've had a few guys get up into the wall coming out of 4 and out of 2, but for the most part I think the tire wear is holding pretty good.
Well, it's a tire wear, and I believe it's also the talent of these drivers. I think a lot of practice was, you know, used in this race this week, and it's starting to show. And like you said, James, the overcast conditions, I think it's these guys up here in the front, especially like Jacob Havertz and Fitzpatrick, they're the ones. And as I'm talking about him, Fitzpatrick's going to go to the inside and try it. And once again, Jacob Havertz pulls away on the outside. That's the second time he's done that. Maybe the inside is going to be the harder way to pass. Maybe the best way to pass is on the outside, James. Looks like we got some wrecking here in the back, maybe. Oh, we have a big wreck coming out of turn 4, it looks like, and there's not going to be a caution either. This could shake everything up. Looks like Michael Duker was involved, and the 87 of Lee Pierce, he restarted second in that. Looks like a lot of cars might have been torn up in that. We're going to see if we can get a... Wow, there it is, man. A lot of wrecked cars. Very surprised the caution was not called on that one, James.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up a couple cars also there, Mitchell.
Some early ones that they're coming in. It looks like the 36, the 27, the 99, unfortunately got caught up in that. 36 of Jeffrey Morissetti, and the 27 the 24 of Jay Heisman might have gotten caught up in that as well.
Yep, and oh boy, and for the caution not to come out on that, this is going to put some guys that were right up there down 2, 3, maybe even 4 laps as they're waiting for repairs.
As we look back up
to the front, yeah.
A lot of it's still Jacob Havertz and Dylan Fitzpatrick, but it's looking like maybe the 83 of Adam Benefiel is going to maybe make a move on the 15. He seemed to stuck with him, and look at there in 4th place is still the 81 of Carlos. He has not fallen off enough. He's not fallen off a lot, and it's put him here in the top 5. Looking back through the field here, looks like Mike Ellis is up to 14th place. Got through that wreck, and Mike is really probably one of the biggest movers of the race. Matter of fact, as I'm looking through here, and he's got a lot of momentum. James, what do you think he can do at the end of this?
Yeah, I think again, and we talked about earlier, just kind of sitting back. He's avoided the big one there that we had just a few laps ago, and I think he's feeling it out, as most of these guys are. So just some super savvy racing.
Yeah, you got that right. Well, after a couple crazy laps there and a kind of a wreck that maybe should have been a controversy on a caution, the top 5 reads Jacob Havertz in 1st. Adam Benefiel just took over the 2nd spot coming to the line there in the 83 numbers, and he's now in 2nd. Fitzpatrick is back to 3rd. Carlos Fonseca on 2 tires is in 4th, and William Dunn in the 43 is rounding out the top 5.
Well, after that little accident, we went from 40 cars on the lead lap, and I think we're now down to 32 on the lead lap. So That's a tough thing when you have an accident like that, and you have some racers that can break it and throttle it and not get up into the track and stay on the track and throw out the caution. Although that's a good thing, it also hurts those guys that got collected in the accident because they're 2, 3, 4 laps down now.
Oh yes, and as we look through the field here, it looks like everybody's single file. Still have Jacob Haberts. He's looking very strong early. He might be the man to watch coming into later laps. He might end up in victory lane. James, looks like we got a good battle back there for maybe 16th, I believe, with Jose Pabon. But, the 71, I believe, or no, I'm sorry, the 7. It looks like he just got in the wall there, and looks like 42 is going to prevail.
Yeah, we've got a group of about 6 of them back there. We've got Keith Dunn and Jason Miller in the 35 and 55 car, and Jose Pabon, number 42, and there's about 6 to 8 of them, and they're running all together, not making a lot of ground, but they're keeping their lines, and maybe they're packed up together for a reason. We don't know.
Yeah, that is very true. And as we look right ahead of them, it's Mike Ellis in the 31 with Austin Gilreath in the number 8, actually passing Mike for the 14th spot. That might be one of the first. Oh, but Mike Ellis has something else to say about it.
Oh, you just got to love it. You got to love that high-low dippity-do. It's just beautiful. And I could see it happening again here as they go into one again. Who knows?
Oh, it looks like Mike got a little bit loose. Oh, Austin's going to get him back on the outside. Yeah, James, the inside's looking like it might be an issue. It seems like the middle lane might be a little bit faster, actually.
You know, I was noticing that earlier in the race when I was watching kind of the guys at the back, and they were the guys who were holding a little bit higher line, maybe just above the tire groove line, Mitch, seemed to be carrying the speed through the corners a little bit better. And when you do that, as we all know, you can get on the throttle coming out of the corner a little bit quicker.
Oh yeah, and that is, and I think also with this fixed setup, the stability in this setup just seems like it's amazing. These guys just, it seems like they have so much control of their cars. I mean, that's why we're seeing this great green flag run here. It's just the stability. We're going to check in with the number 34 of Alan Pajari. He's looking like he's in 18th place right now. What do you think, James? Do you think he's just filling out the field, maybe going to make a late run at this later on?
Well, he's moved up 23 spots. That's a pretty good thing, and I know he had to avoid that wreck a little bit. He got around it, but you know, he's holding a good line. He's running right in behind Keith Dunn, and you know, sure, he's 13 seconds behind the lead, but Mitch, I can't gotta believe there's going to be a caution at one time between now and the end of this 138 laps. But who knows? But his car looks smooth. And as you notice, he's holding that high line a little bit, and he's coming down into the corners, holding it, and then throttling off. So he's choosing right now to run that lower line, which he's not in traffic, so it's probably the right thing to do. Let's see how he handles one here.
Yeah, and as we're still watching Alan there, some developing news. The leader, Jacob Harberts, took it behind the wall. No reports on what happened to the car or maybe his internet connection, but we have a new leader, Adam Benefield, in the number 83.
Let's see if I can jump on that and find out, all right?
Man, that's got to be heartbreaking there, James. He looked very, very dominant early in this race, and it's really tough to see people like that have either, you know, just issues in general. And also, it looks like Marcus Lambert, the number 96 that got caught up in that first wreck earlier, looks like he's going to take it behind the wall as well.
Yeah, we have had to, and the only thing I can think on, Jacob, when you try and pull a replay here, he has actually completely taken it over the wall. We can't even pick up a replay to see if anything happened there.
Oh, yes. And something else to watch here, too. We've been talking a lot about this Adam Benefield guy. He's actually the points leader. He was our Daytona winner last week in the Iracing Fixed Series, the Winter Series, and he's leading again.
Yeah, out front in that 83 car, and Dylan Fitzpatrick's right behind him.
Oh, yes.
Boy, yeah, I would like to, maybe if we couldn't somehow find out about Jacob Harbitz for sure, just to be running so good. And the only thing you can think of is it may have been a connection issue or whatnot, but unfortunate.
Oh yeah, and that's going to change the whole outlook on this race. And as we talk about those top two, another developing story here is still Carlos Fonseca there in the third spot. He took 2 tires, and he still seems to maintain the position. That's going to be that it blows my mind. I never would have thought 2 tires would have been the way to go here.
Yeah, copy that, and he's hanging right in there. Matter of fact, see if Mr. D'Amico can take us on board in the cockpit with the car 15 Dylan Fitzpatrick's for a few laps, and let's just see what it looks like inside of a car for our viewers.
Man, James, as we're coming out of turn 2, he is really putting it on Adam here. As we go back into turn 3, look at the line. He's so smooth. I mean, there's no reason he's in second place.
Yeah, just holding a very smooth line, not getting too aggressive, throttles it off just a little bit as he comes into 1, tap, and then gets on the throttle at about just past the apex of the corner, and away he goes.
Yeah, and it looks like Adam might have gapped him there a little bit. And another point to bring up here, James, we've had a good green flag run, a lot of good racing, but how are the tires going to last? And what changes do these drivers have to make with the tires falling off?
Well, in the fixed setup, they're not going to be able to adjust a whole lot other than just take 4 tires. And you can't adjust the air pressure, you can't adjust your track bars. You're kind of stuck. So these guys are going to have to play around with the throttling. They're going to have to play around with their line into each turn as the race goes on. But I just overheard Mike Ellis talking in the race that he's about ready. He thinks it's time for some tires, so we may see some pits coming up here fairly soon.
Oh yes, and this could completely shake up the order here. Looking on the 81, looks like he got in the wall there a little bit in turn 2, but I think he's still going to be okay.
Yeah, Carlos looks like he just a little bit. I don't see a whole lot of damage though, because he's actually making up some ground here. Just went underneath the 38 car there, which is a lapped car, but nonetheless.
Another point to bring up here, Dalton S. England also took it behind the wall about 2 or 3 laps ago. That'll be our 3rd DNF of this race so far. But it's out of 43 cars, James, so I mean we still have a lot of cars out here that could possibly win this race.
Yep, we're looking at 26 on the lead lap right now. And we do have 3 guys, Christopher Schnetzler, Jake Hayes, and Alan Roel, who would be fighting. Well, no, Alan just went another lap down, so Christopher Schnetzler and Jay Hayes would be fighting for the lucky dog if by chance we happen to get a caution.
Oh yeah, and as we start to have, it looks like we're going to start green flag pit stops. Like we were talking about earlier, James, the strategy might come into play, and this is the first time it's going to come in, and it's only lap 51. I mean, there's a lot of strategy still to be played out here.
Yeah, copy that. I can only imagine that everybody that's going to come in, matter of fact, I just heard Mike Ellis say 4 tires. He's mentioned that in our in-race interview with him. It's always 4 tires, but boy, if you took 4 tires the first time, do you only do under green? Do you only do 2 outsides? You're right, it's strategy time. This first pit stop under green is going to be real tricky.
Oh yes, and like you said, the 2 tires. We saw Carlos. It pulled off for him, and you got to wonder, with all these guys watching that and the people that know about it, will they try it again? But the only issue is you already have so many laps on those left tires. Will they be able to last another full green flag run? Because I feel like we're going to have another one.
Yeah, the way these guys are racing, and now they're separated out enough, I do not see, unless somebody just does something foolish, which I don't see any of these guys doing, putting it into the wall all by themselves or something. we're going to have green stop pits, and Mitch, I got to think that you've got to take 4 tires. Even though it's an extra 4.5 seconds in the pits to get the other side on, you got to take them.
Oh, yeah, and I agree. I think that is the move to do right now. It's conservative, and especially for these leaders. The leaders have everything to lose right now. You're just trying to run a normal race. And another thing, too, is you got to get on pit road good. You got to be smooth, because if you mess up, every second counts right now in this lead pack. I mean, Adam and Dylan Fitzpatrick have been side by side, door to door, right on each other the whole race. And that one pit stop could determine the race. You never know. Well, as most of the field has already made their green flag pit stops, Adam Benefield, our points leader, is still in first. The question is, how much longer does he wait? Because every lap he waits, these guys with new tires are going to make some ground on him.
Well, I'm seeing some really good racing here towards the back. I'm picking up on the 68 car, Teddy Wicke, and he's making his way, 25 seconds behind, but he's weaving his way through the field a little bit. Coming up on Vic Greenwood right now, car 11. And he's looking really smooth. He just worked himself through about 6 cars here in the last 3 laps. So, again, it's early, but Teddy Wicke, car 68, is making a very nice, gentle, slow move up through the pack.
Yeah, and as we talk about that, it looks like Pavon is in the middle of a 3-wide situation into turn 1. He's still 3 wide. The 7 might be in the wall. Oh, he's not going to. Wow, look at the driving. Already back to single file. Everybody's good to go. That's the kind of racing that you want to see here at iRacing.
Yeah, it certainly is, and this has been a fairly easy race to call, but fun, because now you and I as racers, Mitch, we're thinking strategy. What are these guys thinking? What would I be thinking? And we haven't had a caution to get into a car and interview anybody to ask what they're thinking, so I guess we're trying to fill in the blanks, but these guys all know what they're doing. Every one of them has a strategy. And the other thing, too, Mitch, that you and I both know that comes into this is there's 6, 8, 12 guys out here that are team members. They're communicating. They're talking to each other. They're working out a team strategy, too.
And speaking of strategy, it's looking like Fonseca, our third-place car, is going into pit road.
Yeah, William Dunn's coming in with him, 43. There's a group of them. Carlos Francisco's coming in. We got about 6 or 8 of them coming in pit road right now. Let's take a look at what they're going to do.
And as you say that, our leader's keying up. He's going to come down pit road.
Carlos has got right side tires, and he's taking left side tires.
Looks like Carlos is going to take 4 tires after that 2-tire pit stop last time. That move really put him up there, and now he's back even with these race leaders. And let's see if Carlos can do anything on 4 fresh Goodyears.
Yep, Dylan Fitzpatrick, car 15, also took 4 tires. William Dunn, 43 car, 4 tires. So it looks like everybody is doing 4 tires, smart, and quickly back out on the track. Let's see how this shakes us up now, because now the other group of leaders is coming in.
Oh, yeah, and here we go. Adam Benefield, our leader, is exiting pit road. Let's see where he shakes up after all this. As Dylan Fitzpatrick comes out of turn 2, Benefield's still trying to get up to speed. Fitzpatrick might be able to catch him here, James.
Looks like that last group of guys that was running towards the back is now in the pits. Keith Dunn came in, 4 tires.
Yeah, James, we're having a lot of shakeups here with the standings. Don't really know. Another leader right now is Brad Miller, the number 76. He started 42nd place and is now leading this race. You got to imagine he's pitted a little bit earlier before this and is holding the lead. But this is another strategy. There's a lot of different fuel strategy and a lot of different strategies out here that might end up, being the call of the race at the end of this.
Allen's going to be coming in 34. Alan Pajardi, car 34. Looks like he's bringing it in down pit road right now too.
Yep, and also Brad Miller, the leader, the first place guy, also brings it in. Looks like the rest of the guys that haven't pitted are coming in right now. Looks like we got 5 or 6 cars on the pit lane here.
Yep, both Brad and Alan in the 34 and 76 car, and they're going to dash it off of pit road. And I hope that Alan there doesn't get picked up for speed. And he really lit out of there in a hurry. But looks like they're both under 50 miles an hour. They're both back out onto the track. But again, 4 tires, Mitch. We pretty much knew that was going to happen. So we're 64 laps into it, not quite halfway. We got 2 more stops left.
Oh, at least, James. And it's looking like right now the leader's the 69 David Naughton. I don't think he's pitted yet. So when it cycles around, Adam Benefield is still going to be our leader with Carlos Fonseca making it back up to second place, and they're only a second off of Adam, James. They can
Looks
come
like
back
David Naughton just took 4 tires, Mitch. He's just coming off pit road. So yes, he is going to relinquish the lead. And I think you're right. Here comes Adam right down the front stretch.
Oh, yeah.
And there
Adam,
he goes.
Yep, and there's our new leader again. Once again, Adam Benefield takes the top spot here on lap 66 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Carlos Fransco right behind him, Dylan Fitzpatrick, William Dunn, Daniel Murray. So everybody has cycled through their pits. Let's see if we kept everybody on that lead lap. We had, I believe we had, 24 on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think you're right, James. And I think I'm counting about only 17 cars on the lead lap right now. And I'll tell you what, Adam is setting a heck of a pace right now. As we look back through the field here, All Pros Racing's very own Mr. Tideman, Mike Ellis, in the 15th spot there, kind of just hanging out, maybe trying to figure out what he's going to do at the end of this race to get back up there and win this thing.
Well, I tell you, that our leader came across and passed Alan Powell, number 98, and Alan has got so much damage up on the front hood and on his left side, and yet he was running with our race leader for about 2 laps. And I tell you, he's not letting a couple guys go by him real easy, our second and third place guys.
Yeah, speaking of, that's just where I was about to come on here. Fitzpatrick was trying to pass the lap cars on the inside, and there's nowhere to go, but the 98 got in the wall there, so that's going to only make it Alan Pajari. He's got to get by, and I think Pajari's going to let him by here. Yeah,
I agree with you on that. I tell you, he was running hard with a lot of damage, and finally it just, I think the car probably with that damage, he was trying to push it too hard, got a little loose, and as you said, he went up into the wall, and, well, now he's got some more damage.
Yeah, James, and another thing I hate to say right now, if you look right ahead of him, it's Mike Ellis. He is the next car. It looks like he's going to be a lap down. You got to hope. You got to. I can see Mike now. He is praying for a caution.
Yeah, and Mike's car looks clean. He may just have come in a little bit too slow in pit lane, got out a little bit too slow, because he was right up there. But that also tells you how fast those first 3-4 guys got in and out of pit lane. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, and we started with 43 cars this race, and Adam Benefield's looking at lapping Mike Ellis, and he's in the 16th spot. I mean, Adam is really setting a pace that, with a fixed setup too, James. It's amazing. As we get a view of Mike Ellis here going into turn 1, get a view for the fans here. I mean, he's running a great line there, James. It just seems like Adam's just got a little bit bigger of an edge on him.
Yeah, and if you look in the rear view, he's probably got his eye on Adam there, and but yeah, he's holding the lines really good. He's coming in here into the tri-oval, right on the line. And Adam's not in any hurry to run by him, though. I think he understands Mike's a heck of a good racer. Mike's not going to make a mistake here, and Adam's being careful how to even pursue this. He may not. Well, here he comes around the inside. You can see that in Mike's rearview mirror. And there he goes, coming out of turn 3 into 4.
Yep. And as we exit turn 4 here, Adam Bitterfield has really opened up a pretty big gap there on Dylan Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick stayed with them the first half of this race, but Bitterfield has continued to show his dominance and is now pulling away from the field.
He's opened up a little over a 1.5 seconds lead on Dylan, so. Hey, Mitch, while we are actually live racing, I'm not sure we're going to get a caution here tonight, but in some other NASCAR news, of course, this week in Vegas, a lot of the news is starting to happen and popping, and one thing that really popped off to me today was Dale Earnhardt Jr. receiving the Myers Brother Award for basically the NASCAR driver committed to service and continued service to the stock car industry, and what a high award. The two brothers, the two Myers brothers, who started this thing back in the 50s, and continually goes out each year to the racer or team, or in the case of ESPN winning it one year, anybody who's going out of their way and really contributing to NASCAR and to motorsports. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. today received the Myers Brothers Award for 2014.
Yeah, and looking back on this season with Dale Earnhardt Jr., you got to wonder, was this his best year of his career? And if you look at the point standings and if you look how he did in the chase, you'd say no. But a lot of people got to remember, Junior won 4 or 5 races this year. He hasn't done that in a long time, and for him to get that win at Martinsville, I think that capped off everything Junior wanted this year except for a championship.
I couldn't agree with you more. And what a gentleman, what a true, just a gentleman in racing, and couldn't have been to a greater guy. Certainly agree with you on that. A fabulous year. He didn't make the final chase, but you know what? He was there at Martinsville, like you said, and of course Daytona. But and some other wins that he picked up, just fabulous. So kudos to Dale Jr. For the Myers Brother Awards. A couple other switches with crew chiefs and driver teams. What about Carl Edwards heading over to Joe Gibbs Racing?
Oh yeah, James. That is a very big move for Carl Edwards, and someone that can relate to him is Kevin Harvick. Kevin and Carl Edwards both got their start at RCR and Roush and stayed a lot of years. And, Harvick went away, first year or second year away, wins a championship. And Carl Edwards, you got to imagine in his mind is, man, if Kevin can do it, so can I. So I think Kevin doing this good this year really showed Carl, it can be done. You can go to another team and you can be successful.
Exactly, and I could not agree with you more. And would we be remiss talking about one of the greats right now in Dale Jr., but how about the Rookie of the Year?
Oh, yeah. It's the man, Kyle Larson. I cannot wait to grow up watching Kyle Larson. I think him and Chase Elliott and a lot of these young guns that are in, and Joey Logano, Joey Logano is only 22 years old. He's still a young guy. I mean, there is so much talent that is being looked over here in the NASCAR series alone, and there's nothing, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they mature and grow up, and see how they where they place in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And the feeder system that these guys have created and built, it's given those guys, the young guys at the local tracks, it gives them that confidence. Hey, if I can do this and I can win some races, and one of these feeder developmental teams sees me and picks me up. Oh, we do have a caution.
Oh, it looks like the 42 of Jose Pavon got caught up in something there on the front stretch as we have our second caution, Auto Racing caution of the race. As we look at the replay here, looks like Jose might have just gotten a little loose off there at turn 4, and looks like he might have gotten up in the wall and lost it. It looks like he might have came down on the 77 and maybe started all that stuff. I'm going to tell you what, James, I don't think Adam Benefield wanted to see that caution.
No, I would definitely agree with you on that. And yeah, and here comes Jose. He's coming down pit road right now, and
so does Adam.
That front is, and Adam is too. That front of that 42 car's got some awful bad damage.
Yep, and as we look through the pit road here, looks like most of the leaders are going to go ahead and make some pit stops.
Yeah, I think this is a smart move. These guys, you know, they had about 9 laps after that green caution. This would be a good time to top it off. I don't think they may be taking some outside tires only because we're under caution, but I don't see anybody taking 4 tires on the lead. Well,
and as you say that, Adam Benefield's going to take 4 tires, and it looks like everybody's going to be taking 4 tires right here. Very wondering what these guys are thinking. Maybe this is going to open up the 2-tire stop in the last pit stop.
Well, that could very well be the case. You know, we're going to be about 3 more caution laps. We're going to be probably up to lap 90 before these guys are really up to speed and the tires warm up again. That leaves us about 48 laps, Mitch. I mean, you think maybe these guys thinking a top off or something around lap 120 maybe, and they think, can I go without any tires? I don't know. Maybe that's why the 4 now.
Oh yes, and that's a very good point. And you know, as we were talking about earlier, Carlos Fonseca took 2 tires, and look at him now. He's still in 3rd place. He knows it's going to work, which means he might try it again. And you know what, James? We can actually might get a word with him here, and maybe see what's going on.
Let's see if I can pull Carlos down here. Hey Carlos, this is JP and Mitchell up in the box. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Tell us about your tire strategy. We've got a little over 50 laps to go. Caution here. We're taking some guys taking 4 tires, probably topping it off. But do you have a strategy here for these last 50-ish laps, and with maybe 1 more stop left to go?
I'm going to try to make it on these tires I got and feel.
Copy that. You know, earlier in the race we saw, I think you only took 2 outside tires, and under that green stop you took 4. And so and after that first stop, you were working and staying right up there just on 2 tires when everyone else was taking 4. So
I might take that late in the race.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate you, your sponsorship here tonight, and Mitchell and I have been having a riot calling this one in the booth. This has been some fabulous racing, guys, and kudos to NASCAR iRacing Winter Series fixed season.
Carlos, this is Mitchell
Reeves. Fun.
Yes, this is Mitchell Reeves up in the booth for you, Carlos. We've been watching the whole race. You took the 2 tires. You made some great moves, and you know it's been awesome to watch you maintain yourself. But we're coming down here to about almost 50 laps to go. You got Adam, you got Dylan Fitzpatrick there. Do you have anything for him?
I don't know about Adam, but Dylan, me and him have been pretty much equal.
Well, we hope to see you, maybe use that strategy later on in the race to your advantage. You were the only one that did it the other time. You might be the only one to do it again. And if that's the case, you might prevail in this race. But thanks for talking to us, and we'll be watching.
Yep.
Well, Mitch, talk about cool as ice, huh?
Oh yeah, I think there was a reason behind that. He's keeping his mind to himself, and there might be a good reason for that at the end of this race.
You know, and he's saying maybe not fuel. I mean, he is right on the cuff. I guarantee it on a 1.5-mile track. He just topped off. So I'm thinking he's thinking, yeah, I hope so. But I'm almost wondering if he's thinking hopefully one more caution, because I don't think there's enough fuel in the tank to get home from here.
No, sir. And as we reset the field here, Adam Benefield's going to take it to the green. But the 43 of William Dunn is in second place. He might have taken 2 tires there, James. That might be why he's there. As the pace car is off, we're going to wait for the green flag here. Green flag, back in the air. What a jump by Adam. And 15 of Dylan Fitzpatrick's going to follow him. He's going to clear the 43 as they go into turn 1. Oh, look at Dylan Fitzpatrick. He's got a run on the inside of Adam. It's the first time we've seen anyone get to Adam and see if he can make it happen in turn 3.
Boy, and what have we been talking about, Mitch? How hard is that inside going to be? Here comes 43 ducking under. Let's see if he can get around on the inside.
Yeah, James, that killed Dylan's momentum. The 43 had something to say about it, and he's going to maintain second. Man, look at the run. He gets off the... Oh, and he's going to spin the leader.
Oh,
but he saved it. What a save by Adam. Oh, my gosh. Wow, what a save.
Boy, and did he save that? That is an amazing save. Turned, exiting 2, and pulled it off. And you know what? He lost only about 7 spots there, Mitch. Unbelievable save.
Yes, and who, I mean, that shows why he is the point setter. He's led this whole race. He is, I mean, that was one of the best saves I've ever seen at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But as we reset the field here, William Dunn, who took the 2 tires there on the last restart, is going to be the leader, with Dylan Fitzpatrick still haunting him there in second place.
Now here's going to be a little bit of problem for Adam. He's got a parachute sitting out there up on that right front hood, but I think, you know, he's probably going to just drive it in a little bit deeper. And here he is. He's underneath the 17, Michael Whitaker, and he's coming up on the 88, Michael Dwell. He's not going away. He is not going away.
Oh no, and now it's some people, when they get mad, they drive better. And as we're seeing this, I mean, he has damage, like you said, James, but he is still maintaining with the lead back here.
Boy, was that an amazing save.
That
is one for the iRacing archives. Let me tell you, that was just phenomenal. In a vulnerable situation, coming out of 2, gets hooked in the left rear and saves it. And he lost 6 spots. That's it.
Oh,
and
yes.
didn't take the rest of the field out.
That is a very good point. That could have been catastrophic for a lot of people. But the thing is, James, the only places you're going to see that kind of racing is here in the NASCAR iFix Series and on All Pro Broadcasting. Those are the only 2 places you ever see racing like this, it seems like.
Yeah, I would tend to agree on this. And again, Adam and Carlos have put out a fantastic series. Boy, I hope we get call another one of these, Mitch. This has been just super fun. First time you and I have really been together in the box, getting to call a race and letting Mike do his chores behind the wheel tonight, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Oh yes, and as we talk about Mike doing his chores on the wheel, Mike Ellis took the wave around that last caution. He's actually back in the lead lap, back in 16th place.
He certainly did, and he's 7.5 seconds behind the leaders. I'm telling you, don't count Mike out here at the end.
And another person not to count out is our new leader, Dylan Fitzpatrick, as he finally gets the lead lap after running in second the whole race, and he got by the 43 of William Dunn. Something else to watch here, James. Adam Benefield, after having that heck of a save, he's already back to 5th place. That is amazing for the amount of damage he had and just everything he's already had to conquer and persevere over in the last 10 laps.
Yep, and he's making a move up here on Colton Landis, number 49. Just kind of throttling it, waiting. And I think what he does...
Oh, and the leader hit the wall.
Oh,
Dylan Fitzpatrick's in the wall on the apron. There's not going to be a caution. That's going to be his race right there, maybe.
Well, he saved it. He's bringing it back up in turn 3 here. So he's probably going to lose about 15 spots, but he did save it. No caution, as you suggested. Oh,
yes.
He just got loose. Just loose, and boy, tough.
Yeah, James, that's the third leader now that we've seen have problems. Jacob Havertz looks like he might have had some internet connection issues. Adam Benefield, William Dunn got into him and, got him loose. He went back. Now we have Dylan Fitzpatrick hitting the wall. Is there a curse with the lead is the question now.
Mitch, here I'm watching Colton Landis 49 and Adam Benefield 83. And I'm seeing some very ingenuity in what Adam is doing. He's running in behind Colton a little bit. I think he's just trying to keep that. He's making a run on him now. He's going to go take him to the high side and move into third place.
Oh yeah, Adam is driving to get back to that lead. He is not done with this race yet. He's got damage, but he is not going to give up on it.
Boy, is that something else. And there is the first time tonight, well, and it's probably because of his damage that actually that bottom line was holding, but there goes Adam. He has moved himself up into third position with a damaged car. This is one of the most incredible situations I think I've ever seen begin to develop. If he comes back, Mitch, and wins this race, it's going to be amazing.
Yes, and after that crazy restart, let's go ahead and reset our top 5 for you here. We have William Dunn, the 43 in first, Murray in second, Benefield already back up to third, Duell in fourth, and Landis in the 49 in fifth. A lot of new names up here. Is there anyone that, with about coming up to lap 100 as we cross the line here, is there anybody that kind of stands out to you with 38 to go, 39 to go?
Well, I'm still thinking Carlos, even though he got a little loose and had a little bit of damage. Carlos Fonseca in the 81 car, he's in 7th position, he's in 10th position. I'm looking at Matt Werrick in the 33 car, qualified P4. He's still running 7th.
Yeah, these people are still in it, and, we're looking at lap times coming in here. Benefield was actually a 10th faster than our leader, William Dunn, there. So Benefield, with the damage still, he still has a shot at this race, and if he gets a caution and gets into the pits and fixes it, he can be right back in this race, James.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And if he does come in and get a quick repair, Mitch, it doesn't matter how many spots he loses because of that. He's going to have a quick enough car to weave his way back through the field. And this is a field that you can weave your way through and trust that guys aren't going to block you, try to cut you off, do something maybe a little risky. And, so I would have all the confidence in the world if we get a caution here and he gets a reset and ends up going back 15 spots. He has confidence that he can move his way through the field and get back up to the front.
And somebody else has kind of moved their way through the field was William Dunn, our leader, but we just actually had a lead change. Dan Murray, who's been really quiet tonight in the top 10, top 5, but he's survived. He's now our new leader. It's first laps he's led. Dan Murray in the 5 car, he's somebody that might be the dark horse here. No one's really talked about him. We haven't talked about him all night, and now look at him. He is now our leader here, coming to lap 104.
Yeah, and he's keeping about a 3/10 lead on William Dunn there, and this gets to that point. 34 laps to go, Mitch. I mean, where are these guys at on fuel? If we stay green, nobody's taking tires. This is going to be a top off if these guys are low on fuel. I don't see anybody taking tires. They're going to figure it out. They're going to put a couple gallons in the tank, 3.1 gallons maybe if they're low, and we're going to run this another 33 laps to the end.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, but as we're looking through the field leader, I can tell you one person that's not worried about fuel, and that's Adam Benefield. He's already he is still catching on these leaders every bit, and that if he has that quick fix still in his pocket back there, he can use it, and he might get the lead back here. I mean, Like we said earlier, before this race even started, James, strategy might play a huge factor, and it is starting to show that strategy might be the winner of this race.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. And, well, I tell you, can we just fast forward, Mitch, to lap 138?
Oh, I know. I can't wait to see who's the winner going to be. I mean, right now, it's still anybody's game here in the top 10. Anybody in the top 10 could win this still.
You know, I have been looking back at Dylan Fitzpatrick, the 15. You know, he dropped back almost, I think, to 16th place after he was leading and took it out. And he's starting to make a gradual move back up the field. He's coming around the 33 car, Matt Warwick, right now. He's got the 28 in his sights. And he's moving himself slowly back up the field.
Oh, yes, and you know, Fitzpatrick, I think he still has his quick fix in the bag, too. So him and Benefield, who are the top two leaders most of this race, are really, for the first time the whole race, looking for a caution after their dominance early.
Boy, Mitch, how much would you have paid to get into this park tonight here in Las Vegas?
Oh gosh, I wish I was here to watch this race. And another thing too, we're watching here, Adam Benefield is already back up in second place. He passed William Dunn, or more like William Dunn let him pass him. And Benefield's got his eye on Murray. Murray is sitting duck right now.
Yeah, just kind of looking at the intervals, you're seeing a 0.2 of a second here, but the guy who's making the most move right now, and I'm still watching him back here, Dylan Fitzpatrick, 15. He's just shaved another 0.3 of a second off of the leaders in the last lap.
And that goes back to the point, you know, he was kind of, I guess, stuck. Oh, we have a caution. Man, and it looks like the 39 of Jacob Fife is going to be the recipient of the caution here. As we look at the replay here, it looks like him and the 76 of, I believe, Brad Miller are the two that got involved there.
Yeah, right after they come across the tri-oval, and let's see what happened. Looks like it's going into one.
I believe it's turn 4. It looks like Jacob Fife might have just came down on Brad Miller there.
Yeah, he sure did. You can see it right there, and boy, I tell you, another car just slipped by that as Jacob was spinning around. I think that was the 29 car, just slid by on the underside. Samuel Harris, that could have taken out another 2 cars.
Yes, that is very, very true. And like you said earlier, it actually was turn 1 and 2. That was my fault. But as we come here into pit road, this is where Benefield is going to get his repair and get back in this race. This is the pit stop of the race here, James.
Yeah, I can't agree with it. And they're all coming in. You've got Daniel, Adam, Michael, William, and they're all coming down, and they're right at 50 miles an hour. I mean, those guys got it dialed in at 50 miles an hour. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Let's see what happens, Mitch. I don't think any tires. That's my guess.
You got to wonder. Tires look like they've been key here. If you're going to take 2 tires, watch Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick could take no tires.
Outsides.
William Dunn takes 2 tires. He's going to look like he might retain the lead.
There's 4 tires. Yeah, he took, Adam took 4 tires. Michael Whitaker took 4 tires. These guys were all taking 4 tires. Yeah, and I didn't see Daniel Murray, though, if he took 4 tires or 2. Dan Murray did. I don't know.
I think Dan took 4, but William Dunn, for the second pit stop in a row now, has now taken 2 tires. And as we reset the field here, it looks like it's going to be Dunn, Murray, Benefield in third after using that quick fix. But it looks like he might still have some damage there, James. And Michael Whittaker, you were talking about him earlier. He's moved himself up to, I believe, 4th place if everybody pitted.
Boy, I tell you, that is rolling the dice right now, William Dunn. That is rolling the dice.
Well, James, it looks like we're going to restart here with about maybe 20 to go. You know, this restart could determine the race here. Who is your favorite here on this restart?
Yeah, as we come across here, we're going to regrid it and just kind of see where everybody's at. But
who do you think your favorite's going to be? Who are you keeping your eye on as we enter these last 20 laps?
well, I got to say, Adam, and again, it totally surprises me, Mitch. Actually, I'm just watching the replay on William Dunn's pit stop, and you're right, 2 tires, and everybody else is taking 4. I don't think he's going to have it. I'm looking at Adam Benefiel in the 83, and we've been talking about the car 15, and I'm trying to get an idea where he came out after pit.
7th place.
So he moved up from like 11th to 7th on that pit. So I'm thinking again, there's another player right there.
Oh yes, and it looks like Mike Ellis is going to get the wave around here too. Good to see him still in the lead lap. It seemed like he's really maintained on the lead lap and really had a decent race. He's sitting in 22nd right now, but he's still on the lead lap somehow. Thanks for watching here at All Pro Racing. I'm Mitchell Reeves with James Peterson, Michael D'Amico behind the cameras. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Skiers Marine, Michelangelo's Painting. Come check us out at allproracing.com, and we're doing a lot of cool stuff over there, Super Speedway Series and Loose Lug Nut Series, James. And we're actually starting tomorrow night. What do you think about that?
Oh, you guys are so lucky to get a race so much. I'm envious. That's all I can say.
I understand, James. Well, looks like we're going to be 2x2 here if we come out of turn 2. We're going to a top 5 again. Looks like it's going to be William Dunn, Dan Murray in 2nd, Adam Benefield in 3rd, Michael Whittaker in 2nd, in the 4th spot, and the 88 of Michael Dool rounding out our top 5.
Yeah, I'm looking at, here's what I'm going to say. This is my roll in the dice. 15, Dylan Fitzpatrick's going to be there at the end, and Adam's going to be there at the end.
Well, to be at the end, they got to make it through this restart, so let's see what this restart brings.
Yeah, this is critical. The first lap and a half out of this restart is going to be very critical. But you know, Mitch, if we've watched these restarts tonight, we haven't had anybody dooring each other off restarts. There they go. We're under green.
It looks like Michael Whittaker in the 4th spot spun his tires, but William Dunn has already got a huge lead on Adam Benefield. He's 2nd place.
Boy, William Dunn got a super jump. And they're single file down the backstretch coming into 3.
And like you said, James, Dylan Fitzpatrick already up to 4th place on the restart, and he's looking for more at a turn 4.
Yep, he's coming under Michael Dool on the inside, mind you. Mitch, we've been talking about that all night. The inside's not going to be easy to get around, and there he went right underneath him.
You know, James, I think Dylan I still think he had his quick fix in his pocket there, and he used it. He's using it at the right time. He's up to 3rd place. And I'm telling you what, it's going to be between Dunn, Benefield, and Fitzpatrick, it looks like. Who's it going to be?
And I'm looking at Adam's, Adam's front left looks repaired, so he must have kept it in his pocket there, Mitch. And here he is. He's going to make a run on William Dunn.
Oh, yes. Coming out of turn 2, Benefield's had the car to beat tonight, but William Dunn seems like he's still putting himself in position every single restart to be there. Let's see if they can do anything. Benefield's going to look on the inside, coming into turn 3. As they come out of turn 4, they're still side by side. But it looks like Dunn might clear him. Looking
at about 20 laps to go right here at the line, Mitch.
Yep, and look, Benefield still had more to say. He's side by side with Dunn going out of turn 2. They're going to be door to door as they exit down the back stretch. Dunn's going to pull on him, though. And as they run side by side here, the only person that's licking their chops right now is Dylan Fitzpatrick. This is just reeling him in closer and closer. And as we say, Fitzpatrick, he's looking on the outside of Benefield. This is the first time we've seen Patrick on the outside of him. Can he clear him? Oh, nope.
You know, and I'm looking at Michael Dwell in the 88 car. He's got some damage out there on the front. His whole front is actually a little damaged up. He's running in 4th spot, but I just think as these first 3 cars start to get closer to the end, they're going to start pulling away. I don't think Michael Dwell is going to have anything for him. I could be wrong, but he's staying in the draft right now on Dylan Fitzpatrick. But with all that damage up front, we get closer to the end, I think these front 3 are going to start to really try and run away, and I don't think Michael's going to be able to stay with them.
Yeah, and I think you're right there, James. And another thing, too, to watch, the 43 of William Dunn, he took 2 tires again, and it looked like he might have fallen off there on the longer run, but with coming here with only 18 laps to go, is he going to have enough tires at the end to maintain in front of Benefield and Fitzpatrick, who have led this or been the dominators of this whole entire race? It seems like.
Boy, William almost clipped the wall there, coming into one. Oh boy,
man, that would have been something. But it seems like he's going to prevail on it. But Fitzpatrick and Benefield are still. Oh, and we have a caution. Looks like the 69 of David Naughton might have been involved. Looks like he got into, let's see who it is here. Oh, Jason K. Miller in the number 55 car. Looks like they got into each other coming into turn 1 there.
See if we can get a replay on that.
Oh, man. There was a, yeah, it looks like the 69 got into the 55, and the 55 actually saved it, but then it looks like the number 35 of Keith Dunn, we talked about him earlier. Keith Dunn looks like he just got into the back of the 55, had nowhere to go there, James.
Yep, sure did. And 55, Jason Miller just couldn't do anything. He got turned and then took the rest of the group behind him out.
Well, James, we all know the saying, cautions breed cautions, and it's living to it right now.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to be coming in here, that's for sure. And you can hear Adam talking a little bit about his last pitch strategy, and I think a couple guys, I heard him say thanks goodness there.
Oh yeah, I think Benefield seems like he's raced a lot of these guys. I heard him chatting earlier in the race chatter about, all these guys have been around each other. And, we were talking earlier, James, about how all these guys are, good racers. They're holding their lines. All these people really know how to race. And it comes with the trust. And I think all these guys have been around each other the whole NASCAR iRacing official series. And now they're still around their same friends and racers now.
Yeah, copy that. And again, another one of the beauties of iRacing, there are so many different leagues and teams that you can get involved in. It's just phenomenal. The All-Pro has a fabulous team. There's some organizations that have a lot of leagues and teams. One that we talk about a lot is PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. Over 200 and some members just on that league and team. So there's so many different levels and so many different age groups of guys that you can run with and levels of experience. And, the thing about it is that I see is it's such a learning experience. And with this group of guys, a driver that's a decent driver that maybe wants to run with these guys will be able to, to learn some things and become a better driver. And I think the guys in this group here support that.
Yes, and I think that's a good point. And coming to these last couple laps, there's no telling what's going to happen here up in the front, or really the whole pack.
Yeah, Adam Benefield. And the guys, I think what they're doing, and you can hear them talking in race chatter a little bit, they're getting rid of some of that nervous energy. We haven't heard this kind of talk all night, Mitch.
Yes, that is a very, very good point, James. They probably are trying to get their nervousness out. I mean, this might be some of these first guys being broadcast, and I think everybody wants to do the same thing and end up in victory lane.
Yep, they're starting to crack some jokes. They're starting to call guys nicknames that we haven't heard tonight. And, you know, hey, we've got 14, 13 laps to go here. And believe me, you and I both have sat in a car when there's been less than 10 laps to go, something's broadcast, or it's a big race on the line. You're trying to get rid of those nerves just a little bit.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Well, we're getting ready here to go 2x2 again, and I'll call it here. We've got William Dunn still out front, 43. Adam Benefield, 83's in second. He'll be starting on the outside. Dylan Fitzpatrick in the 15 car. I'm still saying he may be our dark horse. Michael Dwell in the 88 car. Michael's got some damage, but he's still hanging in there. Daniel Murray running in the 5th spot, and Carlos Fonseca running in the 6th spot. So we're getting ready to go 2x2 here.
Yeah, Carlos kind of been quiet here on the second part of the race, but I mean, if he's going to make a move, this is the time. But this is going to be a good restart here. I think this could be the last restart. I hope it's the last restart. I'd like to see what these racers can really do here on the last couple laps.
Yeah, I think Mitch, this is probably going to be our last go at it. We're going to come across the line. We're going to have 12 to go, and they're starting to tighten it up. Pace car lights are off. They look really clean. Everybody looks in line. 2x2. Here we go. We got 12 to go. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, here we go. Coming out of turn 4. Waiting for the pace car to go off. All right, we're going off Dunn. Whenever he goes, this will be the green flag. It looks like the green flag is back in the air. Oh, and we have a caution. 98 of Alan Rowell. Looks like he might have been involved. Yep, and it looks like Alan just spun the tires there on the restart, and it was a single-car incident, so that's the good news about this. And, James, this is just going to up the pressure here on him.
Yep, he certainly did. He just got on it a little bit too quick. He came right on the mic, though, and said, hey, guys, my bad, I'm sorry, and, but, yeah.
Yes, and that is something that you don't see a lot, and you know, for people to take fault for their stuff, that's a lot of class and a lot of respect. That just shows the amount of class and respect we have in this 104 Racing Series.
Yep, copy that. Yeah, you see it on the replay here. He's at the back of the pack, and he just went ahead and lit him up a little bit too soon.
Yeah, that is a definitely good way to put it. And another thing too that kind of went by us here, James, was Fitzpatrick seems like he actually gained or passed Benefield on the restart there and got the spot.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. So boy.
If you look back through the field here, the Tide Rod still sitting there in 15th place. Mike Ellis, he's been really quiet tonight, but seems like he's kept his nose clean and looking like he might actually be in the running here for maybe a top 10 if he can get it going here on a restart. Let's see if we can get a word with him here. Mitchell Reeves up in the booth for Mike Ellis.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, Mike, we're coming to the closing laps of this race. You've kept your nose clean. You kept out of trouble. What is your view on these last couple laps coming in with all these great racers in this great race? What is your strategy, and what are you going to do here in these last couple laps?
Well, I've been trying to be like my mentor Dale Jr. and keep this Tide with bleach Toyota Camry clean. and I have. It's have no incidents so far, and got brand new tires. And I think the only 2 cars in front of me have the same tires as me. Everyone else is older, so I'm actually in a good spot. I don't know how I've kept it on the lead lap.
Well, it's Mike Ellis. That's why he kept it on the lead lap. I mean, we've seen your strategy. You made a great call there on getting the wave around, I believe, earlier, and really actually ended up really working for you. What made you decide that?
Well, it almost didn't. I was on pit road when that caution came out because I had run out of fuel, and somehow it worked out. I got another wave by, so I don't know. I think it was just blind luck.
Well, hey, like everyone always says, it's always sometimes better to be lucky than good. So, but James, do you have anything to ask Mike?
Mike, it's been great. You're doing good. We've been talking about you all night. You're our hero. So let's see you finish up there in the top 10.
Absolutely. Thanks to D'Amico and JP3 Mitchell for making this happen tonight. Everyone over here is real appreciative. Lots of people asking where to watch the replay and stuff. And everyone looking forward to Bristol next week.
Yeah, copy that. Hey, after the race, can you come up into the booth with us for a few minutes?
10-4.
All right, sounds great. Good luck to you, Mike. Got about 8 to go when we go green here. Let's see you advance some positions and do all pro racing and broadcasting good.
Well, like you said there, they're going to be coming to, I think it's going to be 8 to go on this restart here as we come around one more time. And we're going to, looks like the lights are probably going to go off the pace car here. And we're going to double them up and see what happens here.
Yeah, I would like to call these last lap 8s green, Mitch.
Oh, yes, and if that happens, I think we'll have a heck of a finish. But I'd like to give a shout-out again to our sponsors, Skeeters Marine, Michelangelo's Painting, Michael D'Amico. Biggest shout-out to you. If it wasn't for you, man, none of this would have been happening. We'd just like to thank you for everything you've done for us, and you're the man, bud. But as we come here to the restart, it's still William Dunn. Dylan Fitzpatrick's on the outside. Let's see if he can do anything. Dunn's really doing good on these restarts, though, James.
Yeah, he certainly has. The last one, he just pulled away from the field. I mean, he was on that throttle almost like an NHRA drag racer guy. He probably pulled a 0.000 RT time.
Oh, yes, and I bet you the best person we could ask about that is our very own Bobby Stewart. I'd like to give a shout-out to him. He's back with us here at iRacing after a rough last couple of weeks. We love you, bud, and we'll see you in a race here soon, too.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Super kudos to that. And it is good to see Bobby back, and with the loss of a family member, his father, but be good to see him back on the track here soon.
Well, as we come out of turn 4 here, James, we're going to be coming to the green. And
I'm getting excited, man. I'm going to start talking over you. This is going to be good. Viewers, thanks for coming and joining us tonight. Let's watch these last late 8 race laps.
Green flag back in the air. Dunn got another good restart there, but Fitzpatrick's going to hold. I think it's going to maybe be about 2 cars behind him as we go into turn 1 here.
Boy, and you saw Dunn. He wanted to get up to that top lane, didn't he? He wanted to get up to the top.
But look at him. He shot it down in the inside. He's going to try to get the run off of 2. Is he going to peak it low going into 3? There's Fitzpatrick on the inside. Oh, and look here again. The outside prevails again, and that's going to lose his momentum and benefit him. Oh, and spin, and it's Carlos.
Carlos Scott sideways.
Caution's out.
Boy, if they don't line up quickly, that could be the race, Mitch. I don't know.
James, I think we're going to end up having a green-white checkered. I think that's how we're going to end this race right here. And man, James, after this great race, what other way to end it than on a green-white checkered?
Well, copy that. Oh my gosh, and Carlos just got squirrely and turned, and too bad. Oh, that was tough.
And William Dunn, once again, on the restart, it just pulled on Fitzpatrick. And, Fitzpatrick didn't have enough time to do anything. And Dunn's been on these 2 tires. Those left sides are over 100 laps old. how, I mean, how in the world is he going to be able to pull this out, James?
Well, I think that's why we saw him go up to the high lane. He's got to stay up there. If he comes down low, forget it. I mean, he's done. Those tires are not going to hold us. He's coming out of either 2 or out of 4. And so I think that's why we saw him when he ducked into 1. He went right to the top of the track immediately so he could get a cleaner line coming out of 2 and get on the throttle earlier. And I think it's just savvy racing, Mitch. Just savvy racing.
Yes, and that has definitely been the key tonight. Is Christopher Schetzler is going to take it behind the wall here. But we've had a great race on our hands tonight, James. We're coming here with about 5 to go. We still have 21 cars on the lead lap, and still have a lot of cars still on the track.
Yeah, we're looking at, like you said, 21 on the lead lap. That's half the field on the lead lap, and we've had about half a dozen guys take it over the wall completely.
Yep, and that just shows the amount of talent we have here in this wonderful race. And I'll definitely say, James, in my short time of announcing and broadcasting, this has been the greatest race I've ever been able to be a part of. And anybody that's watching this, y'all need to come to this racing series. This racing series is the real deal, and there's some real deal drivers in here, and this is the place to be. Here in all-pro racing, you can't get much better than that, James.
Yeah, I copy that. This has been, I have to just totally agree with you. This has been a group of guys here racing tonight. I have seen nothing intentional. I've seen nothing dirty. I've seen some great communication and some fabulous driving. And driving on, like you said earlier, my gosh, William Dunn, he's probably got close to 100 laps on just 2 tires. I mean, you just don't do that in iRacing and hold a lead. You just don't do it. So there is some very, very savvy skills going on here tonight in this race. And if he hangs on to win this race, which would be amazing, we got to somehow get an interview with him after the race to see if he's gone over the 100 laps and how he did it.
Yes, and nothing too. It's not like he has slouches behind him. Fitzpatrick and Adam Benefield, they've been there the whole night. And somebody else that's really kind of maintained lately is the 88 of Michael Dool. He's moved up to 4th. Dan Murray's in 5th. A lot of the same names we've seen, but these drivers are the guys that have been up there. And all these guys are taking 4 tires, but William Dunn, with the 2-tire strategy, has still prevailed all over these guys.
Yep, and you can hear William talking in sim right now. He says, these cautions have saved me. And I think what we're hearing there is it saved his tires.
Oh, yes, because Williams seems like he has a good car for about 5 or 10 laps, but then the 2 tires start to give up, and with a green-white checkered, that the 2 tire stops that William Dunn could end up being the all-pro racing move of the race. It could end up being the one that got him and the one that got him the victory lane here, but we're coming to 1 to go here, 1 to green as the pace car lights, I believe, are off. We're going to see who wins it.
It looks like William is going to stay on the bottom lane. Even though he's got P1, he's going to stay on the bottom.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if that's a comfortability thing or just, he feels like that might be the place to be. Dunn has done, no pun intended, he's had some great restarts tonight, and the best 2 he's had over the last 2. And you got to wonder how many more restarts can he have, James, until a slight bit of tire spin might catch up to him.
Yeah, copy that. Well, we are going to get 3 green laps here if we can keep it green. And I got a feeling William Dunn is going to move up to the top as quick as he can if he can get there on this restart going into turn 1. I think he's going to pull that same move, Mitch.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Fitzpatrick has played it nice this whole race, James, and this is the time. You got to be aggressive. As we come out of turn 4 here, this is going to be it.
Lights are off. Here we go.
It's been a great race. We're going to come down to 3 laps to go. Dunn, Fitzgerald, Benefield. Who's it going to be? Green flag's out.
Dunn got a great jump again.
A lot of tire spin. Oh, and we have wreck in the back. William Dunn's going to be our winner of tonight's race.
Oh, boy, they did it again in the back of the field. Who
would have thought that after the 2 tires, William Dunn is going to be the winner? it's an amazing, and you know, another thing, kudos to Adam there in second. He came back from a lot of adversity, and you know, he still looks like he's going to be our points leader coming into the third race as we go to Bristol next week.
Yeah, I would think so. With a P2 finish and a P1 last week, he would be up on top. That's going to put him at about 86 points, 85 points. So,
well, as they come around here, it's not official yet, but all they got to do is go 55 miles an hour for another race or another lap, and that would be the end of the race. But you know, as we look, you know, it seems like Dunn really got away with one here. I think Benefield was licking his chops to get Adam for a lap or two and just never really got the chance there, James. Well, James, what a race. It's been a great race.
Hey, Mike Ellis, JP, and Mitchell up in the booth. We finished under caution, but we'd certainly love to have you come up into the booth with us and maybe even do an interview there in Sim with William and Adam and Dylan, if you could, for us.
I don't think you'll be able to hear it, though.
Oh, copy that. All right.
It goes through my headphones, so...
That is correct. Well, what do you think there? We thought we were going to get a green finish, and from your perspective, what'd you see there coming out of that final restart, Mike?
Well, I knew what was going to happen. Top 10 or so had no tires, and sure enough, so they spun their tires on the restart, both of these last cautions. So I was just lucky and missed it, P11. I think the guy who won. Benefield.
Actually, it was William Dunn.
He did say you've been saying his name wrong. It's not Benefield. It's Benefield. But anyway, he's been the class of the field all night.
Well, as William Dunn actually ended up being our winner tonight, Mike. Benefield actually finished, or Benefield finished second.
Field.
Phil, there we go. Phil, my bad. Anyways, Mike Ellis finished P11. Looks like you're going to still be looking pretty good in the points for next week. How do you approach next week?
Well, second and 11th, yeah, should be pretty good for points. Bristol, the same thing. Just stay out of trouble and keep the car clean to the end.
Well, and that's the only strategy, because Bristol's one of those tracks you never know what's going to happen. But thanks for joining us tonight, and as we look through the results here, it's now official. William Dunn is our winner here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're going to look at the results here. Of course, you have William Dunn coming home in first place. Adam Benefield in second. He's going to retain. He's going to keep the points lead as we go into Bristol. Dylan Fitzpatrick, what a comeback! After hitting the wall and coming back, he's going to finish third place. Dan Murray in fourth. Michael Dool in fifth. Austin Gilreath in sixth. Jay Brown in seventh, Michael Whittaker in eighth, Brad Miller in ninth, and looks like Mike Ellis is actually going to round out the top 10.
How about that? What an elite top 10 there. Mitch, what a fun race to call. Unfortunate, the last 20 laps we had 3 cautions. I think Mike alluded to it there when we were interviewing him. Guys just were a little soft on the tires, and they got on it too quick on those restarts, spun them, and we couldn't get green. So it's unfortunate, but one thing I really appreciate here, we didn't hear anybody complaining or moaning or arguing with each other tonight. A 2.5-hour race, hour and 20-minute race with 6 cautions, and the guys come away with good attitudes. We got a winner in William Dunn, Adam Benefield, as you suggested, and Dylan Fitzpatrick, the top 3. And these guys all walk away, and I guarantee you they're looking forward to coming back and doing it all over again next week at Bristol.
Yeah, you got that right, James. It's gonna be it's just getting started. We're race 2 of 10. There's a lot left, a lot of ground to gain, a lot of stuff that's still gonna happen, and man, who doesn't want to watch this racing series after that great race right there? But From me, Michael D'Amico, and James JP3 up here, we'd like to thank everybody for joining. Once again, thanks Skiers Marine, Michelangelo's Painting, Fast Lane Racing, Jacob Nye Productions, everybody that supports us here at All Pro Broadcasting and All Pro Racing. We'd like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here with us, and we'll see you next week.